Welcome to Machismo TV, the ultimate destination for modern men seeking to upgrade their lifestyle. Our channel covers a range of topics including current events, fitness, personal development, and technology to help you look, feel, and live your best life. Tune in for actionable advice and engaging discussions. We the willing, led by the unknowing, are doing the impossible for the ungrateful. We have done so much, with so little for so long, we are now qualified to do anything, with nothing.
So join up. Do your part. There's a long war ahead, and we need you. So join up. Do your part. There's a long war ahead, and we need you.
Have you any idea how successful censorship is on TV? Don't know the answer? Successful, isn't it? Have you any idea how successful censorship is on TV? Don't know the answer? Successful, isn't it?
About how we can better ourselves and further ourselves, further your mind, you know what I'm saying?
How you gon' wear my trust when the last one
Let's be clear, this is
How you gon' be no love when the bed don't sleep? Deep crash your feelings in the middle of the street. When you was at your lowest, tell me where the hoes was at. When you was at your lowest, tell me where the bros was at. 3:30 in the morning, scroll through the call up. Ain't nobody but the mirror looking for the fall off. I love when you count me out. 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 My name is in your mouth.
Might be about you. Might be about you.
Conductor. Welcome to the new golden era. Yo. This that purple tape mix for 𝐂𝐍𝐉𝐎𝐘. Hey yo. Imagine getting murdered with the case in the village. It sure is. Yeah. DJ Drama.
Hey yo, I'ma take it back to the ski mask Chanel. So yo, with my mail, I can never fail. I can be through you, I can tell you a tale. You ain't never ate rules, Chris in a cell. Everything grab, you moving at a pace of a snail. Supreme clientele, cause my cocaine pal is wrapped on the hype. My dope house well with Egypt, eating Portland's.
I pray you see me hop up out that Rolls, that's hope. I pray you see me hop out that Maybach, that's hope. Big chains on my neck, that's hope. Big ass bracelet on my wrist, that's hope. That's hope. Praise fly, praise stove, praise both. Say you love me, lie to me, sweet. Double R stitched in my seat. Powder footprints falling off my feet.
Hey yo, meticulous like a watchmaker, precision, I'm public enemy without the clock. Yo, listen, champagne flavor apricot, full flavor, full leaf furs, isolate, I'm at the spot, about to make a lot. On a calm morning, got me brainstorming, new ways to breach loopholes, new goals, to turn coal into diamonds, you motherfucking turncoats, cotton picking good for nothing wanted, you low down Benedicts, how you kill a good nigga working in the neighborhood, trying to build shit, that ain't real shit. I know it's hard to get on one accord, but why take a king off the board? It's not checkmate when the gang detonate, but let me deviate. I'm thinking more of pouring white grapes than the flu. I escape in a coupe, the heist. Open shop down in Alger Heights. Nothing less than success will suffice. Right, tell me how it feel to be a real one. We don't inherit empires, gotta build one. High stakes when it's fake, stay a real one. Mastermind a game plan to make a meal from. Tell me how it feel to be a real one. We don't inherit empires, gotta build one. High stakes when it's fake, stay a real one. Mastermind a game plan to make a meal from. It's real. Pearls before swine. Girls with strong minds, the world is all mine. It's like hurry up and wait, it's a long line. You got the right idea, but at the wrong time. Timepieces, I find peace, my mind reaches new levels, new devils to leave speechless. Speak truth to power, minutes turn to hours, yours become ours. Now it's new moves, rules of engagement. I leave out with the money, with who I came with. No more the same shit, but I'm still player. Get your main hit, like your first single. Layers, fly ladies understand lingo. On the hotel rooftop, we met mingle. Tequila shots, the whole menu was bilingual. Sing along, you know the words, it's not a jingle. A man with a plan with a purpose. Standing ovation, we out, close the curtains. Yeah. Tell me how it feel, tell me how it feel. Tell me how it feel to be a real one. We don't inherit empires, gotta build one. High stakes when it's fake, stay a real one. Mastermind a game plan to make a meal from. Tell me how it feel to be a real one. We don't inherit empires, gotta build one. High stakes when it's fake, stay a real one. Mastermind a game plan to make a meal from.
You like to eat?
Hell yeah, I like to eat. What you think? I got air in me? What the hell is wrong with you? Asking me dumb questions. He literally looked at my big ass and say, do you like to eat? I went by the gas station and put the air pump in my ass today, Shannon. That's how I got blown up. I'm sorry. Stick a pin in me. I'm gonna be your size.
But you know, sometimes
you know he don't date big girls.
I'm here today because Raymond rather play the video games than play with me. Look, here go your controllers, play with me. I'm your game, play with me. This your game, play with me. I'm your game, play with me. This your game. I cook, I clean, I pay the bills. I cook, I clean, I pay the bills. I cook.
Mr. Baptiste, your woman is upset. Mr. Baptiste, let me ask you this. Do you play a lot of video games?
Ollie boy count cash, move sneaky. Paper in the daycare, paper in the kitchen on the farm, different story, different vision. Every office, cousin got position. Every meeting, bro, I got a mission. Smile for the photo, suit look clean. Under the table, whole crew eat green. Somali scam king, ay. We run that, 8 bill gone, it can't get none back. On God, every hustle, every angle. Comrade, Carlo, say flip it, untangle. Somali scam king, talk sweet, walk mean. Dress code halal, money so hot I'm clean. Read me, sign here, that's the anthem. Whole block eating off the big boy scams. Damn, 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 damn.
Somali scam king. Somali scam king.
Talk sweet, talk sweet, talk sweet.
Scam king. Somali scam king.
Talk sweet, talk sweet, talk sweet.
Scam king. Somali scam king.
Talk sweet, talk sweet, talk sweet.
Scam king. Somali scam king.
Freedom fighters, now they fight with spreadsheets. Laptop louder than the sound of the streets. Grand after grand, feeding all the kids. Outside parking lot full of new whips. Charity, trucking, fake school, fake farm. Whole application like reading the charm. Refugee program, we help, we care. Back in Saxon, we just spit the shit. Comrade Carlos in the must front row at the door prayer. Plan where the funds go, one file here. One shell company there. By the time they notice, we in the air.
Somali scam king.
We run that 8 bill gone, they can't get none back. On God, every hustle, every angle. Comrade Carlos, say flip it, untangle.
Somali scam king.
Talk sweet, walk mean, dress code halal, money so hot I'm clean. Habibi, sign here, that's the anthem. Whole block eating off the big boy scams. Damn, 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 damn.
Somali scam king. Somali scam king.
Talk sweet, talk sweet, talk sweet.
Somali scam king.
Talk sweet, talk sweet, talk sweet.
Scam king. Somali scam king.
Talk sweet, talk sweet, talk sweet.
Scam king.
Fine decorations. But the white boys had told all them French gals that we had tails. Then they found this ignorant colored soldier. Paid him to tie a tail to his ass and run around half naked making monkey sounds. They Put him on a big round table in the Cafe Napoleon. Put a reed in his hand, crown on his head, blanket on his shoulders, and made him eat bananas in front of all them Frenchies. Oh, how the white boys danced that night. Passed out leaflets with that boy's picture on it. Called him Moonshine, King of the Monkeys. And when we slit his throat, you know that fool asked us what he had done wrong.
Country shot.
My daddy told me we got to turn our backs on this kind, Wilkie. Close our ranks to the chitlins, the collard greens, the cornbread style. We are men, soldiers, and I don't intend for our race to be cheated out of its place of honor and respect in this war.
The pupils burn from the gaze of the sunlight. Trying to go legit this time with no gunfight. Straight flights to Ghana. My man got the gold connect. Bow-legged dude with chicks on deck. He got Navy sailors moving their crypto specs. Maybach Hummer, sound like a discotheque. His brother Stan blew off his own hand. He's in the mausoleums, couldn't sew his wrist back on. It's in the Coliseum. The monster's out, straight down in the Opera House. Scorpion pendant, red stone in a lobster mouth. Diamonds embroidered in the China wear. Speaking through Tesla phones, tucked behind the ear, Snow White Royce, guts red with lasagna chairs. Scarface party was raw with mad lines in there. Everybody holding, rock dollars, mad nines in there. Hitters with gold fronts frontin', what's the concierge? 50 years of hip hop, New York is the mascot, city is the backdrop. One more, you can holler at me. You can holler at me.
That I gotta be the best of all. That's just cut and dried. I'm the best. Whether you like it or not, you're looking at, the greatest, the best looking man, the best dressed man, long limousines, jet airplanes, custom made clothes, and any woman in the world I want, just like that. You know what? Let's face it, if you're not carrying the big gold, you're second best no matter what you tell yourself. So gear up, ladies and gentlemen. Get used to it. Who you're looking at, the man.
The almighty, the legendary West Side.
Follow be thy name.
Fly God himself.
You're looking at the man.
I don't give a fuck what you think, bitch. I don't give a fuck what you think, bitch. I don't give a fuck what you think, bitch.
You son of a bitch! 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 You
Dom DeMarco. Dom DeMarco. Dom DeMarco.
That's how we do it. You're in the mix. You're in the mix.
Your girlfriend's favorite DJ.
I don't understand what's going on here.
Is in the mix. Your girlfriend's favorite DJ.
I don't understand what's going on here.
Is in the mix.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, here's Johnny.
This show will begin now.
Yo, 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. What up? What up? What up? What up? We in the
Yo,
building.
yo.
What up? All right, Saul. Let me get a sound check. Saul.
Mic check.
Bang.
Mic
There
check.
you go. All right, bang. There you go. And Hoop, you back yet? All right, Hoop.
Yes, sir.
All right, bet. All right, we in the building. We got a show. Yo, salute to the chat music, man. I see you in here. You said time to start my weekend off with positive vibes. Yeah, man. Sunday, midnight, late night. You know how we do. Often duplicated, often imitated, never duplicated. That's what I was trying to say. Yo, salute to everybody who showed up tonight. Tito on his way. He's driving back to the crib. He'll be in halfway through the show. Let me just start off by saying just some behind the scenes inside baseball. This is season 9, if you could believe it. And just even how tonight's show started off. It was Mia O in the back. We got the scheduled time. Tito's on the road being like, I don't know if I can make it. I'm thinking about rescheduling. Bang, Saul pop up. Okay, now we buy the ball game. We got 3 people. We got a show. Bang, out of the blue, Hoop pop up. So that's really how that shit been going down for like nine seasons, man. We're all in different countries, different states, different time zones. It's a miracle that this show goes on every Sunday, and that's a testament to the brothers that show up on the panel. Speaking of which, I talked to Wrench like 2 weeks ago on Facebook, and he like, man, I'm trying to get back on the Sunday joint. You just gotta give me a minute to get settled and everything, because he left his gig. He looking for another gig inside baseball and some corporate shit. So real life be happening, man. And you know, we got an audience. We got a small fan following. We do the content for y'all, and we believe in the work. Okay, okay, Alpha Phi Alpha. I see you, Hoop. Let's fucking go. All right, let's just get right into it, man. We got a good show lined up. Let me get opening statements from everybody, and we get ready to rock. Saul, you.
Salute. Well, we had another week where we're still warm with these fools and whatnot. They're down here in the space. I think that, you know, for those out there who's doing research, make sure that we focus in or hone in on Northern Democratic racism. The reason for that is they like to give the summary that, you know, we all left the South and everything was good in the North or whatnot, and it was all just the Southern Democrats and this, that, and the other. But somehow or another, these same folks who are promoting immigration are the same folks who promoted Ellis Island and the same folks who promoted Irish gangs who became cops, and these Italian gang members who eventually became dock workers and businessmen and stuff like that, right? So somehow or another, there's some amnesia there. So I want to say that we're all bright enough here. Let us know what's up. We'll broadcast it just so that people know the nature of what's going on. You can't sit up here and complain about the Klan, and ignore, you know, the bullshit that people had to deal with up north. You know what I'm saying? And still are dealing with up north. Ain't no Klan doing no gentrification. Ain't no Klan doing no police brutality. Ain't no Klan responsible for fucked up schools. Ain't no Klan responsible for people not being able to get into corporate America in northern cities. Smells like, you know, Karen next door to me. They'll be quick to tell your ass they voted for Obama. I'll land my plane there.
Yes, sir. Go ahead, Hoop. You ain't had no airtime up here in a minute. Go ahead. Let me get your opening statement, Playboy.
Just another good day to be above ground. Interesting times that we're in, and I would say politically, these are times we pretty much hold fast, and we understand that, some things, may not have been, how can I put it, PR friendly, but we still keeping our head down. Of course, I'm talking about the war, the gas prices and all that. Mm-hmm. But one thing I do know about these motherfuckers, they got 48 to 2 week, 40 hours to 2 week memories.
And once things do so-called settle down, it's gonna be on some "I told you so" shit. So I've been personally, being steadfast. It's been interesting to observe, and kind of going into one of the poems we learned. Becoming an alpha. Keeping my head about me when other people are losing theirs, and that's from the poem. I think "If" is the poem. Saul
Yeah,
can.
Rudyard Kipling. Yeah,
Rudyard
we learned
Kipling.
that too. Yeah.
Yeah, right,
Yeah.
from Rudyard Kipling. So I mean, casual Sunday, man. Good to be, with everybody. Enjoy time with the family for Easter and all that good stuff. And so we just looking forward to what Monday gonna bring and beyond, man. So that's all I got, bro.
Yo, spot on. And I'm glad you said what you said about the war. It seems that the Common Sense Brigade, all across all aspects of social media, are on that, and it seems irregardless of what you're seeing in some of the mainstream news. But I will say this: I did host a debate on the topic with Tito and BGS. It seems to have gone over well with the general public, and the general public. They just seemed to like the discourse in general. It wasn't so much about picking a winner, and I kind of orchestrated it that way. But with regards to the war, we're really good with comedy over here, the meme warfare, et cetera, et cetera. And I've often found that comedy has a very good way of explaining things, irregardless of intellectual arguments and areas of nuance, et cetera, et cetera. So here's a little 50-second brief about this is the war currently. In summary, with regard to the NATO situation, what's currently going on the ground in Iran, and shout out to the co-pilot who was rescued on Easter Sunday of all days, right in the middle of Iran. So shout out to the U.S. military. But this is a 50-second summary of really what's going on with regard to our involvement with NATO, how we're moving, and also Iran.
The problem with that, you know what you should do? You should sanction me. Sanction me with your army. Oh, wait a minute. You don't have an army. I guess that means you need to shut the fuck up. That's what I do if I don't have no army. I would fuck up. Shut the fuck up. That's right.
Okay, so you reopen Hormuz, everybody calms down. Deal? No. Why not? Because we are winning. Who the is this?
I am the new IRGC commander. What happened to the other guy?
I'm the new commander. This is the third commander in 6 seconds. Fast promotion system. This is not a regime. This is musical chairs.
The problem with that, you know what you should do? You should sanction me. Sanction me with your army. Oh, wait a minute. You don't have an army. I guess that means you need to shut the fuck up. That's what I do if I don't have no army. I would fuck up. Shut the fuck up. That's right.
Okay, so you reopen Hormuz.
Oh, you cannot beat comedy. That pretty much explains how Trump is dealing with it. And I fucking love it. Mr. O, that's all you.
What up, what up, what up? Yeah, AOC, she always want to talk about we defeated racism, we defeated the Confederacy, but every time she brings it up, we got to remind her, you do know that was the Democrats, right? Then she'll be like, party switch, we switched. No, y'all have not. No, y'all did not. Y'all still the same people, and I'm glad y'all shout about the Southern Democrats versus the Northern Democrats. See, I ain't got no dog in this fight. I'm not a Republican, and I'm not a Democrat. I'm basically like what Tito said. I'm a conservative, leaning independent. So while I call out bullcrap on both parties, they got to understand what I'm saying is. The Northern Democrats, especially here in Illinois, where I live at, Chicago, Illinois, black people been voting Democrat for the last 90-some years. And even then, we keep telling them, like, what has happened in the last 90 years that basically benefited us. They can't say nothing. All they're going to tell you is, you must be a coon, your mama black, we've been doing this for all so time, why you want to change what's going on. even though the illegals is taking our apartments, our houses, we can't get no jobs around here, but we still gonna vote blue no matter who. These Negroes, that they are incorrigible, and sometimes you gotta let people fall to the wayside. I'll land my plane there.
Spot on. Well, well, you're spot on, especially with what's going on in Chicago. We covered some of that this week. At least shout out to Flip Chicago Red. All right, but let's get into it. Saul, Hoop, and myself and Mr. O were talking backstage about a number of things, and it's a perfect caveat, especially with, let's do the Roland Martin thing first, because Roland just recently got on the air and did a 1-hour incorrect Black history lesson, by the way, all in defense of the Democratic Party. And like I said, for someone who's so utterly appalled about Jim Crow and all the other things, bear in mind, this is a Haitian immigrant. He may be second generation, but all the stuff he's talking about, that means that his family wasn't even here when that shit was going on. So the audacity to lecture Nick Cannon and the general American public, because we had a nerve to say that the Democrats were the founders of the Ku Klux Klan and everything, and he has the audacity, the effrontery to lecture FBA blacks about our history when his people weren't even here. Give a Haitian lecture, give a Haitian history lecture, or better yet, give a lecture about the current state of the country of Haiti and their government. That would be more appropriate. But that being said, I'm going to pull up Tim Black. It's a guy we cover here all the time since I started finding all these black political commentaries. I had no idea there were so many on YouTube. And they are all quite good in their own regard. But this one, Mr. O had sent this to me earlier this week. And if any of you guys watched random shit, I believe this week, we might have just covered this briefly. But we've got, since Hoop is here, we'll have Hoop address this because he's a member of Alpha Phi Alpha also. But I'm picking this one because Tim Black is interviewing one of his close friends who is also an Alpha. And he has some choice words for Roland, which echo for Roland and for his fraternity as it stands in terms of the divergence in ideology. And this is, when I heard him talk, Hoop has echoed these sentiments several times over the course of seasons, especially when it was political season. So we're going to take this from the top, and then I'll hand it off to Hoop at the top.
Okay, listen, so check this out. So as you can see today, I have on my fraternity letters, and that's very intentional. I'm going to tell you why that's intentional. Because your boy Roland Martin, he happens to be a member of my organization. And I wanted to give you some balance. Not everybody is buck dancing and tap dancing for the Democratic Party. But I must admit, there is a serious problem in my fraternity of people like a Roland Martin. We got a lot of, because, you know, if in case you did not know, Governor Wes Moore is a member of my fraternity.
Yeah.
See, now there's a big dichotomy. There's a big shift, and there's big separation between camps, because on the other side, you got brothers like Dick Gregory, who's a member of our organization, right? Who was a member. Rest in power to Dick Gregory.
Always.
Right. And even though I may not fully align with everything this next brother has to say, I know he has the interests of our people in heart, and that's Brother Cornell West.
Okay.
He's a member of the fraternity as well. And my fraternal organization, for me, my anniversary is tomorrow. I'll be a member of 35 years. And I'm going to talk to people, let them know that Roland Martin throws on his letters and people always say, oh, he's boule, and then they attribute his mindset to all of us. But no, I'm a foundational Black American, man. I'm down for my people first, second, and third. And I believe in being honest. I'm an independent. I don't align myself with any party. I believe in policy. Also, let me give a shout out to those brothers that are doing the good work. I can talk this talk and walk this walk because I'm financial. I'm a life member. I'm on the education committee. I'm a social service committee. So I pay my dues. So I do all of that. So I have a right to run my mouth. I don't know what roly-poly does. I have no idea. But what I can say is that brother and I, we do not align politically, and some of the things he says about our people is reprehensible, and I don't appreciate it. So if a brother has a problem with what I have to say, be sure to check him as well.
Yeah, no doubt, man, no doubt. Give it up for that, man. Yo, sound like somebody may have pissed you off a little bit there, dog. What happened, bro? You came in kind of high, like
brother,
man, you had to get somebody straight.
Brother, I watched your broadcast, and when you highlighted what Roland Martin will not say about the immigrant situation.
Oh, okay.
When I saw that, I saw you had on my letters. I said, "Oh, here."
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, so I watched that. I was a little hot when I was watching it because, you know, he does have a Haitian background, so we must never forget that part.
I'm gonna let you speak to that, Hoop, because we've had this conversation before, but almost verbatim some of these comments that he made about the dichotomy inside of the organization, et cetera, et cetera. And then he also alluded to, which I thought, so he did it subtly. He said that when I saw the interview, I saw the feature that you were doing about him, that he had my letters on. And he had my letters on in the context of being misleading about FBA, the immigrant situation, and basically pushing a Democratic talking point that goes against our interests. But he did it hiding behind the letters. That's what he was alluding to. But it's all yours.
No, man. Let me say this. One thing I didn't know that he was Haitian descendant. I didn't know that. So that's kind of revelatory for me. It's refreshing to see that a person attached to my fraternity has a non-donkey influence, because I see the brother in the comments say most of them don't think like him. At least I don't think so. Well, unfortunately, I don't know who you're speaking of. You're speaking of Roland Martin. Yes, most people in my fraternity think like him. Absolutely. And so much so that they try to stymie your opinion if you have anything counter to what they perceive, you know, the OGs, the jewels, or what you call them, you know, people who founded the fraternity. And ironically, like most blacks were in 1906, very conservative. But it's like almost the perception is of like the civil rights era and beyond. Like, so if you ask the average Greek about what they think about what, you know, the founding members of these fraternities were like, it's like they just skipped past the early 1900s to 1960. Meaning the civil rights era is all they really considered. So when you argue with these people or you have discourse with them, you have a discourse with a lot of people who just are very either ill-informed or they just are locked in, focused from civil rights on. Nothing else exists. And speaking of civil rights, Martin Luther King was an alpha. He plays at Boston University. And he, you know, Martin Luther King was a bad boy, man. Next year, his dossier will come out, and boy, just brace yourself. But anywho, but this is like, you know, I'm starting to slowly see more brothers who think this way, because it's like, okay, man, you sitting here telling me that I gotta vote blue no matter who. Because one of our initiatives called "A Voteless People is a Hopeless People," meaning you get to the polls and you vote for Democrat, right? And I'm hook, line, sinker. When I crossed in 2008, today actually makes me the 18th year of being an alpha. We knew code was to go vote for Barack, right? So here I am, 18 years upfield. How do you lose a person like me from the Democratic form? Well, you start pitching all these LGBTQ initiatives. You start basically cutting nuts off men where you can't even speak up in your goddamn household no more. Why is that? Because like Roland Martin said, oh, you need to vote like a black woman. Nigga, just unpack that for a second. Where do you see an entity of men who follow behind their women and thrive in it? And anywhere in the world? Somebody in the chat help me out. I'll help you. It don't fucking exist.
I'll help you nowhere.
Exactly. Exactly. It don't fucking exist. But this ilk of people, and not the brother speaking, but Roland Martins of the world, the Ricky Smiles of the world from Omega Psi Phi, the DL
Hey,
Hughley's of the
I'm about
world.
to say, NDO, part of your fraternity, I got smoke for that nigga. Go ahead.
Yeah, man, I can run them down like your Steve Harveys. They pitch you this bullshit ass, and you know, man, I can make a whole nother fucking rant about boomers, but that class of people are leading. They are trying their best because I think I figured them out. They've been taught this shit their whole life, and they ride this bitch to the end. So they think white man's the boogeyman, and you just pro black over anything and vote blue no matter who. And like I told one of my OGs, man, I'm like, bro, excuse me, that black boomer shit is done. That shit's done. So I just let in with how you lose people like me is when you're not adhering to like things that actually affect my life. Things that I can have forward thought, like brothers say, I'm independent as well, who I lean right. But when I sit here and just say just normal shit, motherfuckers like, oh, how can you say that? You sound like a bootlicker. You know, I'm like, nigga, are you out your fucking mind? Like, nigga, I got my own mind that made me, because everybody loves to talk about degrees and shit. I got 3 of them shits, right? So just because I'm not going down with your so-called boule, your black boule pathway to, you know, media and political affiliation or what have you, that I'm just totally, you know, disavowed when by your same logic, you say that an educated black man should have priority to speak. But it don't count when I don't fucking go your way. So ultimately speaking, I landed here. Brothers like this are encapsulating with a lot of us who, you know, I would say 2020 was, you know, it's funny, like during the time they saying 2020 kind of is apropos of like 2020 vision, having full sight. And it's just so true. That's when my needle started to turn around 2020. I'm like, okay, hold on now. Oh, wait. This shit is getting gay as fuck. America's getting fucking, and not even like gay in the sense of homosexuality, but like, you know how niggas say, niggas shoot a ball, he can't hoop. No, that shit gay. You know what I'm saying? It's getting gay like that. You know what I'm saying? Like poor quality, right?
Yo,
You feel
you
me?
caught me off guard with that. Caught me off.
I'm just saying, nigga. This shit.
America got so gay.
Morning to you.
Why are you gay?
Who says I'm gay?
You are gay.
Gay.
America got so gay that you watched the Birdcage on Brokeback Mountain. Now
Come
pass
on
the
now.
mic.
Come on now. And it got to like where you had to like introduce yourself with the pronouns and all this goofy ass shit. I'm like, my nigga, come on, bro. Like, what are we doing? Like, what are we really doing as a society? What are we really doing? So ultimately speaking, when people always ask me, like, how could you rationalize vote for Trump? Even my own fiance questioned me. I'm like, nigga, because the shit got so gay. I was like, nigga, this is an easy choice, right? So I'm glad that brothers like this to stand up, you know, with their letters on loud and proud, like, yo, I'm not with all that foo-foo shit. This is what it is. This is how black men think going forward. And then, you know, we're not turning back, and you can't shame us with this. This is what y'all voted for shit. No, yeah, you fucking right. That's what we voted for. And I land my plane there.
Spot on. 5 minutes on the fucking nose. And to your point about like, you know, everything turned gay. This is really what happened.
It kind of surprised me, to be honest. I mean, I knew she had a penis and all, but I guess I never really thought about how big Michelle's penis could be. You know, we just kissed and shit like that. But one day we were having a few drinks and we started dancing salsa, and holy shit, thought you had a snake in her trousers.
Like I said earlier, I ain't laughing, but I'm laughing.
Yo, that is really what happened. So I'll give you the 5 minutes because Hoop took 5. Because this is right up the alley of conversations that we've had regarding the fraternities, etc., and like the dichotomy. And you being like, nah, it ain't that. Like, it's not the way they portraying it on the media is not like what it is. And we're gonna do whatchamacallit, we're gonna do the Capper brother next. for you to do. But what's your feedback on what Hoop just said about the Tim Black interview and about the Roland situation?
Let's at least start. Let's at least start here. Okay. These fraternities, by its very nature, are the tip of the spear for the Black community, if you want to call it what's left of it, or it was meant to be special forces for the Black community. Straight up, straight the fuck up like that. Okay, right? You're in there, you're trained, you're indoctrinated to the aims and the goals and the promotion of the Black community by and large, right? At least that was my experience, right? You must be a social fit, you must be a physical fit, a spiritual fit, an academic fit. Are you supposed to be the best of the best of the best? You know what I mean? And trained to be worldly, would you say, tantamount to James Bond or whatever the case may be. You can go to London and have tea and have all of the conventions and stuff like that. You can go to the South and have, dinner and have all of the conventions as associated as such. All right? Okay? You must know enough to physically handle yourself. You know what I mean? Whether it's fitness or self-defense, being gentlemanly, so forth, so forth, so forth. Okay? A lot of the poems, a lot of the drills and the things that we learn or go through is it caters to that. And you know how people talk about online. A lot of that stuff comes from like World War I, World War II, the kind of inner war era was kind of like when these fraternities thrived, really about the 1930s, 40s, okay, where they really fully came into that sort of identity. If you didn't make it, you didn't make it. Not everybody fucking gets a trophy, okay? That's it, that's all. Might equals right, okay? Now, a lot of people, there are certain things, if you just couldn't do it, you just couldn't do it, and you just wouldn't make it. That's it, okay? Church, family, patriotism. You look at Kappa Alpha Psi, you will see patriotism actually being one of the ideals of Kappa Alpha Psi. You will see the call to arms, and I'm sure all of the Black Greek fraternities in particular answered the call to arms to service to fight in Ethiopia and in World War I and II. Right? They were regularly in conversation with the presidents. A lot of them actually trained in Iowa, in Des Moines. Okay, right? So here's the thing. What switched was the 1960s, where you had the co-optation of these fraternities with coalition politics. You understand what I mean? Like, because it wasn't before the 1960s that you seen people kind of put their own kind of spin on the sort of Pan-Africanist, Pan-Africanist kind of, because there was tension between Pan-Africanists and Black Greek letter organizations. I mean, as shown in the movies like, what's that movie called?
Higher Learning?
Not Higher Learning, School Days.
School Days, yeah.
School Days.
Both my
You know
favorite
what I'm saying?
movies, by the way. Go ahead.
Yeah, there was always this tension. You understand what I'm saying? Right? Where you had the Black entrepreneur, the Black person who come from, a family who promotes, Black wealth here and this, that, and the other. And so it wasn't until, the 70s, 80s, 90s, you start seeing Pan-Africanism across the board baked into these fraternities, and people see these as apparatuses as potential votes. You understand what I'm saying? I think that, during the era of civil rights, these fraternities were looked at as inherently hostile to the civil rights movement, not necessarily because, People were saying, oh, they're accommodationists, they're sellouts, and this, that, and the other. No, it's your black business class. You need, your black business class. You know what I mean? It doesn't mean that people don't and cannot and won't support you. It's just that you have a different layer of protection. You know what I mean? Now, if you want to go out there, run, yell, burn down shit, okay, cool. You know what I mean? But you're gonna need somebody to fucking like bail your ass out and defend you up in the damn courtroom, right? So when the Pan-Africanist stuff started coming, then you started seeing your Jesse Jacksons, your Rollins, your Al Sharptons. You understand what I'm saying? And this was who was kind of alluding to as far as them like kind of taking over these organizations to kind of pimp them out. And now they're like second and third generation now in these fraternities. They're wearing these letters as in a badge of Black and Americanness and a badge of leadership for something that they have no cultural memory for or about. And then, of course, we have this sort of everybody wins philosophy where you don't weed out people that should not be in there, people who are effeminate.
Man, I was just about to say that. Man, you hit that on the nail, bro.
Yeah, people who are losers otherwise, people relax academic standards, relax physical standards, relax social standards and things like that. And so this is the type of bitch-made shit we're seeing now, okay? So just like the Sarge, when you see at the beginning of the show, that will be more of the old era Black Greek. It would epitomize that sort of mentality. You know what I mean? Right? Do you think an old Black Southern Christian man will tolerate the shit that they're dealing with today? We all know they won't.
No.
So why are we voting these things in that are not incongruent with our value system, but is an existential threat to us as a group? Look at the population of men to women at HBCUs, even colleges in general, right? Why do I want to keep voting for situations to where we promote foreigners, you know what I'm saying, fruitcakes and other weirdos and stuff like that? Because that's all who's really represented on campus. You understand what I'm saying, right?
Did you say
and those people? Hold on for a second, brother. What? Those people use that as a way to deputize Blackness, and they're already confused. When you see them come out, they're either, like I said, fruitcakes, weirdos, they're cucks, you know what I'm saying? Mom is into, white boys and all this other stuff. This is how we get what we get now because we're not doing enough gatekeeping, and those people are the loudest voices in the room because they deputize our cultural capital to do so. I'll land my plane there.
All right, spot on. Mr. O, I'm gonna get your response to this too, and then Hoop. After Mr. O, if you want to piggyback and then add or piggyback onto what Saul or Mr. O says, you could do that as well before I pivot over to its culture segment, because both of these, this is the alpha segment responding to Roland Martin, and its culture segment is a Kappa responding to Roland Martin. And this is the first time I've seen this with two members of a Divine Nine, or at least on the men's side, actively responding to a Democratic shill who also happens to be in a fraternity, because they try to use the whole fraternity thing as a bludgeon. So I wanted to make sure I got this this discussion on the public record. But go ahead, Mr. O, it's all you.
No problem. So back in the 2000s, Georgia Bush came out with this thing called the No Child Left Behind. I believe around the same time, all these fraternities had started a program called No Coon Left Behind. So Roland Martin is the coon that wasn't left behind. He basically took over the forefront of the Black Greek letter fraternities and basically trying to become y'all poster child. And even though I'm not a Black Greek letter fraternal member, I felt like y'all brothers had to go ahead and separate yourselves from a guy that literally had another man's buttocks on a live stream. I know that does not go with y'all so-called code of conduct, so I knew y'all was gonna handle him in a proverbially fashion in what y'all doing. The thing is about the Black Greek letter fraternities, and again, no disrespect, but with my own research, it was never, ever, 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 ever going to be, how can I say this? It was never going to be the beacon light that we all hoped it to be. Yes, I know there's some great fraternal people and organizations that I can't name at this time. Too many of them. Only one I know is just the Alpha. But unfortunately, beyond that, a lot of them dudes was agents, and we can't even front. A lot of them dudes was agents. MLK, I believe. What's his name? W.E.B. Du Bois, all of them, they was agents, and the only way to convince say that again.
Yeah, him and Jesse Jackson, both alphas, both agents. Go ahead.
Yep. So I stand corrected.
Jesse Jackson was Sigma. Sorry about that. Sorry.
Nah, he's
go
a
ahead.
Q. He's a Q.
Q. Okay, yeah. Damn, I'm tripping. All right, yeah, but same thing. But go ahead, Mr. O. I'm sorry.
So I feel that as though these men is supposed to be the talented 10. These are the men that was supposed to be the role models who Black men and boys alike was supposed to look up to in the beginning and the turning of the 20th century as a prototypical and admiration of what Black masculinity at all four corners of masculinity is supposed to be. Not only just strong, not only just confident, not only with swagger, but with intelligence. With that being said, a lot of these Greek fraternal orders and the ones that's basically part of the 𝐕𝐈𝐃, let's be real. I know a lot of y'all brothers are basically good members of the fraternity, but I'm talking about the ones that's a part of your fraternity that are also part of the 𝐕𝐈𝐃. These are the ones that's trying to go ahead and destroy the moral fabric of what's left of the community. They have destroyed the credibility of academic and intellectual Black men right now, because they are saying some of the most despicable, some of the most dumbest. Like, you gotta be a real dumbass to listen to Roland Martin. You gotta be an even bigger dumbass to listen to Ricky Smiley. And I would tell you, go ahead, go to your nearest mental hospital, and if you even listen to D.L. Hughley. The Black Greek letter fraternity orders, any fraternity order at this matter, whether it be legal or illegal, street fraternities, your Crips and Bloods, Gangster Disciples, Black Disciples, Black Peace Stones, all of them. They don't have nothing good to offer right now in 2026. They might have started out good, all respectfully, in the 20th century, whether it be the beginning or the mid, but unfortunately, all of them, whether you like it or not, all organizations that's basically trying to do this quid pro quo, trying to uphold the old guard, is not working. And y'all gotta find something new. It's time to go ahead and put both of them away, the legal and illegal fraternities. And I'll land my plane there.
Shit. Well played, sir. Hoop, that's all yours. If you wanted to piggyback on what Saul or Mr. O said, because this is the Alpha Phi Alpha segment, so it's all yours.
No. So I think Saul hit the nail on the head about the ilk of people you're bringing to the fraternity. And I'm gonna say this one part, and no disrespect.
And
It's almost like
I'm gonna piggyback off of you when you're done.
Bet that. So it's like Greeks, man. Like there were stereotypes when I grew up. You know what I mean? Through the college system, that the Kappas were the pretty boys, but y'all kind of had some of the effeminate gay dudes, and the Qs were them fucking meatheads, and the Alpha's supposed to be the intellectual dudes, whatever. Sigmas, it's something.
Man, why you gotta side this, bro?
No, just man. If I'm keeping it real, how my mind thought of Greeks before I became Greek, right? And what I started to see is once I became made, a few lines after me, I'm like, what the fuck is this shit? I remember going back, you know, I went to Prairie View A&M University, HBCU, out there in Prairie View, Texas, right outside of Houston. Man, going back to like homecoming and like frat brothers running up on me, you know, because I'm, you know, one of the OGs in the chapter, and niggas coming in. I'm just like, what the fuck is this shit? These old limp wrist niggas. And listen, man, you know, I look at shit like that kind of like the military used to be, man. Don't ask, don't tell, bro. Like, what you do in your personal time, I don't give a fuck. But when you come in and you're just so limp-wristed with the letters on, you just bring the value of the shit down.
They have a list. They have a list.
You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, frat. Like, no. Oh, no.
Stupid hoop. We said don't ask. Don't ask, don't tell. Stupid.
Hey, big brother Almighty take on a different term now, don't?
You feel me? Like, so it's just, I mean, because, you know, keeping it real, you know, one of my line brothers is gay now, you know, and he had a girlfriend when he went over. And, you know, he's kind of ostracized from the line. He's doing some other ill shit, but I leave that where it's at. But, like, now, he could have been who he was and just fully went through the process. No problem. And all I'm saying is that becomes, like, more of the not necessarily the main fixture of what a black man in America is, but it's coming too prevalent because these niggas be encouraging this lifestyle. I'm just like, nigga, do you know how weak this makes us look? Because I always just say, man, you look across the aisle, you look at like some of the Hispanic. Now, listen, I can't speak of every campus, but you look at like OD5 being a multicultural, mostly Hispanic fraternity, you just don't see fairies. When you look at Sigma, Alpha, Lambda, whatever they are, you don't see that either. When you look to the white boys, we look at the Pikes, you look at the motherfucking whatever. You're right. You don't see that shit being at the forefront or the vanguard of their fucking shit. But us, slowly but surely, you're seeing the infiltration, and it's fucking gay, literally and figuratively, and all it turns into is like the apropos of the degradation of the black male authority. They are running this farm system to these literally limp wrist motherfuckers, man, and they are purporting this to be what black man should aspire to be. What doesn't matter that you not going to add to the gene pool. Doesn't matter you're not looking for, you know, a wife to score numbers, you know, as far as, you know, us making stable black families. It's that you're in college and that's good enough. You know what I mean? And I'm just, it's sickening to watch it, you know, metastasize to where it is. And I don't know if Roland Martin is married or not, but his sentiment is just super limp wrist, man. If you see how he gets into these spats with people, it's embarrassing, man. I'm like, nigga. And you know, and I love it. I remember about 10 years ago, I seen this white supremacist dog walk this nigga. And this is back when I was kind of a liberal still. And I'm just like, nigga, how you let them do you like this? This nigga
remember that.
Dog walk Roland Martin. I'm just like, bro, like, what the fuck? Like, nigga.
And he was being extra polite.
And he was being extremely polite doing dog walking. And I'm just like,
gave a polite ass whooping.
He gave a polite ass whooping, man, and I'll shake your hand, and I'm gonna shit in your backyard. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And that's when I kind of started to be enlightened. I'm like, okay, Roland Martin was one of the talented 10th, like you just laid out, one of the ones that W.B. Du Bois spoke about. But then I saw when you just plain speak to these so-called erudite academics, nigga, just lean on logic, and their whole position crumbles. So ultimately speaking, it's just disappointing to be a part of this organization where they trying to, you know, spawn all these you know, people of this archetype when it's just like, nigga, the main motherfuckers that you need to be spawning out is just how it was when it started, man. Working men, logical thinking men, family-centric men, and going forward. And I land my plane there.
Okay, let me go ahead.
You know what? You could tell when niggas ain't been on a Sunday show for a while. They come through, they come in hot, and they drop some bombs. Well played, sir.
It kind of surprised me, to be honest. I mean, I knew she had a penis and all, but I guess I never really thought about how big Michelle's penis could be. You know, we just kissed and shit like that. But one day we were having a few drinks and we started dancing salsa, and holy shit, thought you had a snake in her trousers.
That's crazy, dog.
That's crazy. Go ahead. So you saw.
Okay, so let me at least start here. Okay, all right. I want you all to really think conscientiously about these Black Greek organizations. I mean, and it's true. We do have some criticisms, and some are legit. Okay, but let's not get into the fallacy of recency in the sense that, and I think, a couple of us up here, have, kind of touched on it, but I want to point out a little something more in depth, just so that, people clearly understand the nature of the difference. Okay. I know that there's some people out there that do their research. If you're going to do your research and present the full thing, right? Okay. So here's the first thing about Black Greeks and fraternities in general. Okay. Outside of slavery, fresh out of slavery, when could Black men congregate without suspicion? Anybody tell me that? Anybody?
Nope. Nope.
Post-Reconstruction, America. Anybody can tell me, when could Black men publicly congregate without any issue?
Oh, nowhere. We got loitering laws. You couldn't loiter, or you couldn't do none of that. You got caught with a loitering charge. That was like damn near like what, 5 years maximum back in that time, right?
Yeah, 100%. There's almost always these mechanisms of social control, especially when there's an assemblage of Black men together. It's a problem. Okay, so let's start here. Okay, the oldest Black fraternity in the nation is usually subjected to a lot of conspiracy theories, and people not understanding that Black Freemasonry is inherently different than white Freemasonry. It's not perfect.
I know. I'm one of them. I'm a four-letter.
Okay, so I like to tell people, this year first, okay, just so that people understand this. Okay, so most of these Black towns that a lot of people like to brag about when it comes to FBA and all this other stuff, whether you all like it or not, were actually established or founded by a Black Freemason. Do your research, you will find it. And you want to know why that is? People use that as a cover for assemblage so that, people are able to be liberated. That vast network, that vast geographical network and stuff like that, so that people could do what they need to do, was a big part of using Masonic symbols, landmarks, and conventions to make sure that people are liberated. Okay, right? There was a quasi-Masonic body called I want to say, is it the Sons of Liberty or something like that? Right? Where there was some Black men who organized a militia who was supposed to be the support for not Nat Turner, but John Brown. Okay, right? So here's the thing: these organizations eventually sprang up at the turn of the century. First, the Black Cats out of Ohio. You can do your research on them. They're late 1880s or whatnot. They eventually became defunct later. But the whole point of it was these were literary societies at first where Black men could study and have like social support in a innately hostile environment. Okay, right? And so, of course, we had to use our power and unity and support each other so that, people are good. Because guess what? Just like it was some coons now, there was coons then. And so those sort of congregations vetted people to make sure it was friend or foe, because not all kinfolk is obviously skin folk. We already know that. It existed then. So these organizations started there, right? And then moved on, like I said before, World War I, World War II, so forth, like so. What we're seeing, like I said before, is a result of co-optation and political infiltration to use our legacy and would you say our social capital? Let me ask you all this once again, quote unquote. Historically, black men had ran the church. The church was, kind of a center ground to give people scholarships to go to schools and stuff like that because we didn't have bank loans and all this other stuff. You know what I'm saying? Right? So the question is, eventually, especially after the civil rights movement, you started having your bitch say, well, Pastor said this, Pastor said that. And what eventually happened with the men in the church?
Bro.
What eventually happened to the men in the church?
They left.
Fuck this shit, I'm out.
Okay, and who's in the church now?
Keisha and them.
No, not just Keisha. Who's the choir director look like?
Miss Peaches.
Tremaine.
Tremaine. And Antoine. You understand what I'm saying?
Good morning.
Morning to you.
Why are you gay?
Who says I'm gay?
You are gay.
Yeah, we seen it first there, right? And so now people are saying, okay, they're saying all this other stuff, and there's kind of this back history or revisionist history that, these organizations like this from the jump. No, the fuck they were not. If you guys get a hold of a manual, because there's public information out there, you know what I mean? There's a lot of information out there. There's notes, there's memos, and there's stuff out there. And 9 times out of 10, it will tell you the criteria of selection when it comes to the people potentially joining. One of the biggest things were people, one, who were considered effeminate. Okay? That was an automatic no. A hell no. Okay? Number 2, a guy who, obviously didn't have clean hygiene or whatever the case may be. 3, somebody who is socially undesirable in the sense that they would prey on people, extra thirsty ass nigga. Nobody likes an extra thirsty ass nigga because you burn the fucking spot. You understand what I mean? Right? 4, people who, who's a showboat and live lavishly and, just kind of selfish and want to cut other brethren down because they don't understand the spirit of fraternity, right? So when you're thinking about goals and stuff like that, nobody has any places for no David Ruffin. You will see it. It'll tell you, right? The Alphas, when their recruitment group, they were called the Sphinx Club. Find the Sphinx Club manual. Read what the fuck they're saying. Kappa, Scroller's manual. That shit is stuck. Is out there, right? Okay. Omega, Lambsman. What do you call it? Phi Beta Sigma. Crescents. You understand what I'm saying? It will tell you that. But people get selective and they want to kind of revise history based on the beef in particular that was it Koger, Brother Koger, has stated. And he kind of misquoted some things. Now, here it is, Koger being an assistant to a legislative assistant in the 1980s to Mayor, what's the mayor there? Harold Washington, out there in Chicago. Okay.
Yep.
You didn't have no issue working for him. You didn't have no issue getting no butter biscuits and stuff like that, right? But the minute you get caught up, you want to try to do stuff as if it's somehow or another tell all or whatever the case may be. Okay? Now, those things are out there, and they're out there, but they're not in the proper context. But how about if I were to tell you that those devices are there so that people could tell each other apart, right? Because you go to Michigan State, it means you're a Spartan, okay? Does it mean that you pay homage to Spartan gods? Because you go to USC, you become a Trojan. Does it mean that you worship, the goddess of Troy? You understand what I'm saying? Right? Institutions have these sort of, would you say, mascots to epitomize what they represent. And those things are there so, one, differentiate people so that not anybody can just walk up and say that they're a member, but also serves as a sort of a lesson as to what these organizations mean. But people really think that we sitting around some fire and worshiping animals and effigy. The only thing niggas is doing about that is fucking barbecuing. It really ain't no big secret. The only big secret is just simply being a fucking man. And a lot of people missed it. I'll land my plane there.
Well played. All right. Actually, wow. We're at the 1 hour. Let me play a piece
Sorry
of this.
about that.
No, it's cool. This was a conversation a long time coming anyway. We've been talking about this for damn near a year, like behind the scenes. This Roland Martin thing ended up being the catalyst, because in 1 week, 2 different frats went at him, and like I said, and also with basically him going full nuclear, attacking FBAs left and right, irregardless of organization, basically being a lapdog for the Democratic Party. And like I said, I was actually surprised. Yeah, I was really surprised that the pushback.
Let's pause there, like you just said, if you can. Let's just pause there. Being the lapdog of the Democratic Party, as you know, people are saying the boule, right? So that only validates people who's looking to pimp these fraternities and use it and say, hey, I'm the black leader, I'm the black leader, I'm the black leader. I have access to all these people as a potential electorate, and more or less your black, would you say, intelligentsia for influence and stuff like that. And we're going to turn them and make them for our interest to where people can't differentiate what is what. There's an act of resistance going on because we already know Herman, Harold, Jermaine, you know what I'm saying? All them old niggas at the turn of the century would not have went for this shit at all. I'm sorry. I just got to emphasize that. My bad, bro.
Oh, no. No, I mean, that's spot on. Like I said, this Roland thing is turned into a catalyst for these conversations, especially when it comes to the fraternities, because we also saw how they came out, how they forced a lot of them to come out and force to put everybody behind Kamala Harris. And I guess it's apropos as we're leaning into the midterms. So this is from It's Culture podcast with Mark Stevenson. Oh, damn, I just peeped that. You're right there in the chat, so this is from 3 days ago. But and I didn't watch this, and I'm going to play a piece of it. And if you want, at some point, we could actually go through the whole podcast together at some point later in the week or sometime in the future if you want, so.
To be honest with you, I can get them on.
That's even better.
I could do a simul.
That's even, bro, perfect. That's even better.
And you can get his commentary directly, firsthand.
All right, let's do it. Okay. Saul has brought Mark to my attention when I was doing the news desk segments, because I was finding all of these black political commentators on leaning independent to right, to conservative primarily, but how they were all shooting it down the middle. And it just so happens that this gentleman has had a recent run-in with Roland Martin, and this gentleman is he's from California. He's also a Kappa. So I'm going to play a piece of this from the beginning.
You're talking about Mark? Oh, that's my boy. He's from Georgia, though.
Oh, he's from Georgia? Oh, I thought he was a Cali dude.
Yeah, no, he's Georgia.
Well, okay. So actually, so I'm gonna play a bit of this, and then you could take it from the top, Saul, and then we'll parlay back and forth to Hoop and Mr. O, and then we're gonna end with this Tony Gaskin shit.
Y'all want to see something? let me show y'all something real quick. Cause this, yeah, I was a little bit taken back on this one. I was a little taken back. I posted a tweet, right? And I'm going to read to you exactly as I wrote it. Folks mad with Chili and Nick Cannon and can't show one single bill that Democrats have produced that has changed Black life. Yet y'all still out here voting for these clowns. I can't today. That is the whole tweet. A simple accountability question. Show me the bill. Here's how Roland Martin, former CNN contributor, host of Roland Martin Unfiltered, man of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated, this is how he responded. This dumbass is a Kappa, a HBCU grad, and a vet. And he said something this stupid and asinine. These maggots are truly idiots. You can handle this one. Let that sit. Dumbass, stupid, asinine, maggot. For asking for a bill. Now, let me tell y'all something about Roland, okay? And this is publicly documented. So I think it's kind of relevant, right? Roland got some Haitian in his lineage. If he foundational Black American, he a little bit of half of one. But for this purpose, you a prominent Black figure who you done built your entire career speaking on behalf of the community. And here I am, 20-year Navy veteran, right? I'm a captain. Shout out to the noobs. I'm an organizer too. And I've been in them halls of Congress and I've been arguing for reparations for our people directly with the legislative staff. So all I'm asking for is a simple Democratic accountability question. This response was not a receipt. It was an attack. And that's the entire thesis of this series in one moment. Someone who ain't carrying the lineage, policing the loyalty of someone who does. And that is who is speaking for us right now. So let's close this series out tonight. Because we're going to talk about all these people who not from the lineage and all these Democrats that love to say what they've been doing for Black people.
I made it out the door, but the bullet stayed in me. Left the block physically, mentally, it's still with me. Scars don't heal, just cut the scenery, change.
All right. I'm just going to stop it right there because actually I think this is a full 1 hour stream and he's going to get into it. But I think just the intro and the preamble, that says it all. The response and everything. I like how he laid it out. Go ahead, Saul. You can take that from the top.
So first things first, there's been back and forth between him and Roland. I want to say at least since the fall. Mark has been, basically, put like, holding them to the fire, and every time, Mark throws something out there, Mark organically have people on TikTok and Twitter just sharing his shit. You know what I'm saying? To where, like it'll be like 100,000 shares, 300,000 shares. You know what I mean? And so as Mark is getting in the algorithm and stuff like that, oh shit, here we go. This nigga's a problem. You know what I'm saying? He's starting to, speak about how, FBA feel, right? And so obviously, him and Roland has already had some issues, even dating back to Roland, visiting Georgia and stuff like that. And he almost had that Chicago treatment too. by the way. I know somebody in the chat posted it. But this is to say, this whole thing where there's a group of people within the Divine Nine who's actively trying to use our social capital to pimp it out for political purposes. They don't even care that, the Divine Nine are 501c3 classified organizations. And the fact that these entities can potentially get sued for partisanship, they don't care nothing about that. All it takes is, some lawyer like Ed Blum to come around and fucking sue the fuck out of Divine Nine to make any of these organizations insolvent. But Rolly don't care nothing about that because he's thinking about, political gain. That's all he's thinking about. You know what I mean? And I would say that there is internal conflict, and it's not like, people are just sitting idly by or whatnot. What they're trying to do is use social policing. Man, they done had Mark's family call him, his church, co-workers, and this, that, and the other, try to, put pressure on him and this, that, and the other. And, I'm there with him in the chat and, like in real life, like, hey, anybody do anything to Mark, it's just going to be a fucking problem. I know he knows how to handle his own. Make no mistake about it. He's a sailor. You know what I mean? But, just so he knows that he has backup and, obviously, the rest of us FBA brothers is out here, that y'all not about to just pimp out our cultural landmarks for political gain or whatnot. You know what I mean? And so Roland eventually this week tried to invite Mark on the show because he knows how much influence that Mark has. And so, we were just kind of coaching him through how we get down here as far as, the rhetorical prowess and, obviously, making sure that there's no production chicks and stuff like that. We all learned that lesson from Obsidian when he went on a broadcast with Feminista Jones, right? Where Feminista Jones tried to split up all of his words and make Obsidian look bad, but good thinking by the old man, you know what I mean? The old man, guess what he do? You know what I mean? He did the bitch Philly style and recorded the whole thing just to debunk her and actually show the sort of credibility. So if what I'm saying is incredible, it should stand on that. You shouldn't have to clip anything up, right? But to kind of practice political repression and dissent, people want to obviously dissolve that sort of credibility. We're a problem, right? Mark is actually one of the first people to actually debunk some of that bot shit, where people are like, oh, there's these manosphere Negroes, these FBA Negroes ain't nothing but bots. You know what I mean? To the point that ABC was about to be fucking sued, So I'm saying all this to say this is part of a bigger theme of them trying to, basically take our cultural landmarks and actually use them against us, whether it's for immigration, whether it's for, fruity shit, whether it's for old niggas who wasn't responsible all their life and they just want a guaranteed retirement check. It's usually in them three categories. But however it cuts out, we on their ass, man. We on their ass. So that's my opening salvo as far as that goes.
Whoa. Hoop, I'm gonna hand that over to you. Because this appears to be Alpha Phi Alpha or Nuke violence. What's going on? I'm busting your balls. Hoop? The fuck? Hoop?
Yes, sorry about that. Shit, that checked out. Can you hear me?
Yeah. You good.
No, man. I'll keep mine relatively brief and sweet, man. So again, this is more interference running from. I know some people take the, kind of how Saul laid out the Black Boule thing kind of a little too seriously, but this is what the shit is. And I kind of led in with I was speaking about how I personally had that, strewn against me that how you graduate from HBCU and you are alpha and you talking about this shit because this new iteration of the Black Greek experience is you can't go against none of the Democratic Party, man, and it's just embarrassing, man, because like it's funny that this same group of people will say Black people are not a monolith, but when
Fact.
you come with non-monolithic, viewpoints, if you ain't on so-called code, then that shit's out the fucking window, right? And to see, so-called lapdogs and these moist ass niggas like him, like Mark Lamont Hill, who's a Kappa. And we laid out some of the other the older figures with this, but it's just the same shit, man. And it's embarrassing, man. It's embarrassing, man. Like as smart as and I know a lot of people don't think Mark Lamont Hill's that smart. He's a very intelligent brother, but the problem is he's just so compromised, man. And so
Mark used to be the man back in the day before he went full retard. Mark from Philly from Temple. I used to he used to have pretty solid takes on shit before he went full retard. Real shit.
And that's the thing, that indoctrination, like you start to be like you are basically handcuffed by your ideology. Whereas so this son bitch can't even tell you what a fucking woman is, right? And I'm sorry, I know that sounds very Charlie Kirkish, but that's kind of the litmus test. If you can't tell me what a fucking woman is definitively, I don't want to hear shit else what you gotta say.
Let's just call it what it. Let's just cut the bullshit, man. And I know Mark being from fucking Philly knows goddamn well what the fucking woman is. He's just gonna tell these bitches what it is to make them feel good.
Of course.
And these Democrat motherfuckers, what it is to feel good or whatever the case may be, because he's prostituted himself for a check.
Somebody cutting him a hell of a check.
Yeah, just like Dr. T.Hassan Johnson will say, all these scholars will come to him on the side and say, "Oh man, you right. There's no way in hell you grew up in the 80s, 90s in Philly and believe this shit. No way."
Well, there's no way you can grow in America and say shit like that. Philly aside. But again, that's what, the irony is that's what a grifter is. When you say shit you don't believe. And the reality is on the left, man. Now, I'm not saying on the right too. I see some right grifting too. Nah,
there's a lot of grifting on the right too. Yeah. It's just that when it all boils down to it, they have more commonsensical and policies that you can fucking stomach. It's that simple.
Correct. So if we're looking at it from both of those fields, both of those standpoints, when I look over the field and I see the left is grifting, it's just so ridiculous. It's like, man, little do you know, you push people like me away from the left. You're right, like people who just have common sense. You've pushed motherfucking Hispanic men and women to fucking vote against motherfucking legal immigration. That's how gay it's gotten on the left. That's how gay it's gotten, bro. And real shit.
Lead this shit, right?
Come on, it's like, all right, man, y'all niggas, y'all getting way too crazy now. Like, let me go with Trump. y'all are just getting ridiculous because Hispanics believe in working hard. They believe in doing things the right way. And it's, most of them in their spirit, they're like, okay, I'll look the other way a little bit if it's, illegal. But now y'all acting like illegal people. Not only can look the other way, but then you get benefits. And that's like, a step too far for even them. It's like, nah, fuck that. I say that because I live in California. It's funny how many conservative Hispanics I've met, you know what I mean, over the course of living here 6 years. Because, man, at their core value, they're conservative at their core value, man. They really are. So ultimately speaking, man, when you hear clowns like Roland, I gotta say this too. This is how bitch made he is. He responds to the tweet and like, y'all get him. That's how much of a faggot he is, man. Like he is a faggot, man. I'm sorry if I ain't trying to flag the channel, but fuck. I just can't stand no bitch made ass dude trying to be at the vanguard of black male voice. And it's just like it plays like those commercials, man. Like for the white dude for Kamala and the dudes voting for Kamala. Man, y'all remember them commercials when they were trying to win? Y'all trying to win over male voters, and it's like, yeah, I'll break the shit out of my daughter here, and I'm not too, and I'll also box in the ring, but I'm not afraid to
The
vote for a
worst
woman.
part is they had. This is the worst part. They couldn't even cast straight men. They
Exactly,
cast gay men
exactly,
to act like straight men. Like
exactly.
to get straight men to vote. It's such an insult to fucking injury.
I know,
So,
right?
so to land it, this is apropos of a Roland Martin being at the vanguard of a so-called straight man black thought. It plays the exact same way to me, and I'll let it play in there.
All right, well played, Mr. O. That's all yours. We're gonna we'll get you to close the segment, and then we'll have just enough time to get a piece, just a segment of this Tony Gaskins rant, so we can have a
I
good.
see what you did there, sir. You had to pause yourself before because we say pause. All right, got you.
Yeah. So we get a piece of this Tony Gaskins rant, and we can get some feedback on that, and we'll end the show. But that's all yours, Mr. O. You got it.
My opening closing statement is Sosa. That's it. Let's get to the Tony Gaskin.
My nigga says.
Yeah, you're right. Stay out of straight affairs.
My nigga says Sosa. All right, well, since shit, nigga. All right, well, since we gonna do that whole, let's.
You know what? Just real quick. He kind of touched on something as far as the Hispanic males. Okay.
Go ahead.
I just want people to understand this, and you know, Tito said it first. Okay, right? Y'all all seen what Cesar Chavez that happened with that, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They're about to do to the Latino community what they done to us. Try to control them through their women. You're gonna see it.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna see it, right? So they're erasing and they're revising their history right now, and now they're putting in place Latinas, and what's gonna come next is Latina candidates. And you know what happened just this evening? Guess who won? Guess who won the national championship? The women's.
No, I don't know who.
UCLA.
Oh, yes.
UCLA. And you know who the center is? She's a what? What is it? Go on ahead, hoop. She's a what?
Wetback.
Exactly.
Oh, damn.
So, and they're already online. You know, Latina. You understand what I'm saying? Exactly. And so all of these women, all of these Latina women in Texas to Colorado to New Mexico, Arizona, Nevada, a lot of them border states or whatever the case may be, in particular ones that are usually, would you say, marginally Democrat, they're going to start running Latinas. Bets. Just land my plane there. Something to think about.
I'm gonna say this last thing too. Yeah, they do it through sports. And if you remember, like about 6 years ago, it was that Sha'Carri Richardson chick was the archetype they were striving for, and she basically ran so Angel Reese could fly in a flage, whatever. Yeah, that's their goddamn game plan, bro. It's hilarious to see it play out in real time.
Exactly.
Well, the Keisha voting block has become obsolete. That's like a fundamental thing. Like they just they're gradually phasing them out. And like they're because they're gradually phasing them out because of someone is looking at the polling numbers and the ongoing polling and being like, okay, yeah, we got 90% of you Keishas, but if you can't drag if you can't drag any of these black men with you, you're not as useful. Like I said, they got the Keishas, but the Keishas were there to as a proxy to lock down the black man. And now that the black man is, you know, what we've done with this space, we're voting our interests. We're not the black voting block isn't a voting block anymore. It's 90% Keishas and a bunch. Truth be told, a bunch of black men they can't poll. I still don't believe that 25% black men vote thing. I really think it was closer to 30-something%, and I don't think that they have the polling models to capture the black male vote. Let alone they can't even guarantee that a black man that they said they voted for Kamala actually voted for Kamala, because you got some black men that can't say that they voted for Trump. They just can't. It's socially unacceptable.
Can I add something?
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, if we're being like for real, whether it's direct or adjacent, well, not adjacent, but by proxy, it's this space, bro. The Manosphere did that shit. That's why they got these documentaries.
Yeah.
They did it. Kevin
These
Samuels.
niggas fucked it up. We should have gave you niggas the internet.
Cause bro, on some real shit, even some dudes who don't necessarily, in my personal timeline, because I have a very liberal black, friend radius kind of thing
We
going
all
on,
do.
right?
We
Social
all do.
network. There we go. Let's do it. Right.
We all do. Facebook. That's why I'll be on Facebook, because every time I open Facebook is Trump bad, this bad, your orange bad. Did you vote for it? I was like, you know what?
Right. But here's what you do see though. You do see those talking points that came from Kev, they came from Rolo, they came from Myron, they came from, Coach Greg Adams and so on and so forward. That shit has slipped into common conversation.
Yes,
Women
sir.
are starting to say it now, right?
Absolutely.
Don't forget about Black Rail 313.
So that's why these streams matter. I landed.
Oh, let me add one or two things to this. When me and I'm sorry to belay the point. I'm sorry, and even if you want to do a bonus show on Old Boy's Meltdown, I'll be down for it, because that, you know what I'm saying, that is a whole nother entity within itself, machismo. Just a FYI.
I think you spot on. We should do a bonus on the 𝐔𝐘𝐒, because it's a good case study of a lot of the things that we've been saying has been bubbling under the surface about what's really going. Like it's starting
under the
to bleed
surface
up.
for that nigga there.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Pause. Yeah, no pun intended. But yeah, exactly, 100%.
So I will say this first and foremost, for those listeners out there, y'all going ahead and subscribe to It's Culture Podcast by Mark Stevenson. Okay, once again, It's Culture Podcast. If you could throw up the little ticker there for us, Machismo, just so that people will know. Okay.
Okay, guys, I'm dropping a link to the video we were reviewing in the chat. I'm gonna spam the chat with that for a minute. So that's the actual video in the channel, and then I'll put his ticker on.
Yeah, make sure you tag him in this video too, so he'll know. You know
All
what
right,
I mean?
bet.
Yeah. So I will say this, okay, just so that people understand this. In and around post Kevin Samuels, okay, this space there was a lot of chair throwing, okay, a lot of infighting and stuff like that, and things are gonna happen like that quite naturally in the vacuum, okay. It is what it is, and rest in peace, St. Kev or whatnot, and so we're like, okay, we've covered a whole lot of ground as far as our stances on things. Iron sharpens iron. We have a very, very, very sharp spear as far as that go. But there's no reason to have all these things when there's no movement. There was no nothing. We knew where we were, but where do we go from here? Right? And so me and Machismo came up with the idea that, okay, the only reason why these tethers, especially tether bitches, have the teeth in their bark is because they have government support, institutional support. You think like this, you say this, any of this other stuff, you're out of school, you're out of a job, you're counseled socially, this, that, and the other, right? And so me and Machismo said, hey, why don't we mobilize the brothers and under kind of the same umbrella, just so that we can march forward and actually bring something each to the space, okay? And this is why we came up with the channels with the whole variety of things, so that basically it's supposed to be a time capsule of the space, so that you can get a whole bunch of different voices of Black men from their different perspectives and their different points and stuff like that, okay? So then we said this, okay, now, these chicks went and politicized, you know what I'm saying, to the point to where we can't even have a fucking channel up. We're being censored. All this other stuff. So we said, you know what? I know what their sacred cow is. And Machismo was like, you know what? Yeah, we both know what their sacred cow is. And for a minute, we were one of the few channels talking politics in this space, unabashedly. You see what I'm saying? And then so we look up, and we were thinking like, man, are we effective? We're putting ideas out there. Are people hearing us? What are people thinking in this, that, and the other? You know what I mean? We have to navigate camp through camp through camp through camp. You know what I'm saying? Even had, just different takes on stuff or whatever the case may be, debates and stuff. It didn't end off in no beef. You know what I mean? Because that's not inherently what Machismo channel is about. Remember, it's about collaboration, empiricism, and for the most part, just getting results. You know what I mean? The three tenets, right? So we look up, man. I would say about a year into this, it's like, man, you think we doing anything, Machismo? Are we effective, whatever the case may be? We started seeing more and more Black content creators talk politics, and then it eventually spilled over into the white manosphere. And we knew that we were on to something when they came up with that fucking divergent hate list.
Mm-hmm.
We knew we were on something. We were like, let's lean in on this shit. Let's go on ahead and lean in a little more on this shit here because these motherfuckers are squirming. And then we started seeing a sort of momentum, almost like a fucking juggernaut, where people are Trump is almost kind of indirectly like doing shit, like, oh, okay, he's saying stuff and their staff are saying stuff in a public relations kind of way, almost like we hear you. And then guess what galvanized everybody? You all remember on that stage there in Pennsylvania, Western Pennsylvania during that rally? What was the first thing he did when he got up? He did the ballsiest, maddest thing that you can ever do. Fuck you, I won't go. Bitch, I'm here, I'm dragging nuts. And that galvanized everybody. You understand what I'm saying? And so now, motherfuckers is sitting up there right after the election. They're doing every forecast they ran and this and that. Kamala was supposed to win. She was favorited. She had these concerts and this, that, and the other. From Kamala to Stacey Abrams to all these women after women losing elections, on to getting caught up with scandals and this, that, and the third. And we look up, we have an army of men. The cavalry has fucking arrived. And we like, we're here. This is what we wanted. The sonic army that we wanted, man, right? To the point to where we were so effective that motherfuckers had to come down here. You know what I'm saying? To try to signal boost and try with the whole diet, the diet masculinity stuff. What was the white boy's name? You don't even see him around anymore.
You talking about Galloway?
Yeah, you hardly ever see him around anymore, do you?
He got a podcast and everything, but all that money they was putting behind his tour, it kind of fizzled out. He wasn't getting the type of traction they was hoping.
Exactly. They don't know what to do with us. You see what I'm saying? Now, is Trump perfect? No. There's a couple missed opportunities. I will say that. But right now, they're scared and there's this witch hunt. Oh my God! My God! They don't know who's my guy and who's not my guy. Everybody's hypersensitive about who's my. They even dragged Big Boy into this shit because he was subscribed, not even knowing whether or not he was listening to Trump, even for opposition. They don't even know. These motherfuckers is that paranoid because they're that afraid. You know what I mean? We have to double down. We have to stand on our toes. Let's say even if Trump doesn't go through with the whole midterms and stuff like that, it don't matter. We're still the silent majority, we still is none of this stuff is going to happen overnight. But the good thing about Trump is he single-handedly killed council culture. So now that the gloves are off, we still have 2 more years. Get it all out. Do what you need to do, because we don't want to end up back to how we was before. Because if they get back in, we already know it. It's going to be a stone age. I'm telling you. And it's going to be a bunch of fruity shit. So I'll land my plane there, man. I know it's
No, I think you're spot on, and I'll just add one more thing to something you said about Trump. I was having an argument with someone over WhatsApp. A lot of my friends they're not really liberal. I mean, they make a lot of money and shit like that, and they're just comfortable. You know what I'm saying? They're comfortable. They grew up in the '90s. You know what I'm saying? And but I was going back and forth, and then I ended up beating their ass with memes, because you can't make a rational argument with them. But I've found that memes are very effective at shutting people the fuck up. Or they either start laughing, or they be like, "Oh, I just can't with you," right? But I said something to what Saul was saying about Trump, and this is what I said to the person. I said it was at the tail end of it, and it's a variation of a quote from Dark Knight. Trump may not be the president that you want or that we wanted, but he's the president we need. And that's more so to the liberals, because he did win with a mandate, popular vote, and electoral college. So as per a mandate, he is the president that the United States wants. But to those that didn't vote for him, he may not be the president that you want, but he's definitely the president that you need. The country's going to be better for it at the end of this 4 years if they don't try to shut the world down again with another virus. But the way Trump playing, he on the offense. He's going something like, "I ain't going to get a chance to fuck this one up. I'm going to fuck you up first." And I respect that.
Man, it's kind of like daddy time, man. With Trump, you don't always like when your daddy come with the belt. He's swinging the belt like, "Hey, man, it's get down and lay down time." And that's what proverbially Trump presidency is looking like to me. So you got to understand, when you try to explain what's going down to, like, vastly liberal people, they deal it on a plane of just play nice politics is what I call it. And shout out to Sir Tice, man. Me and him talk, back and forth a lot about shit like this. It's almost like most Democrats, especially black ones, as long as it looks like a nice bow on the front, like, they are okay with not getting shit done ever.
Exactly. 100%.
You know what I'm saying? So what Trump represents is actually the ripping the Band-Aid off a few things. Now,
100.
some for good, sometimes it's for the betterment of your wound. Sometimes you're gonna rip off some unnecessary skin, right? But that's what he is, proverbially speaking. And listen, man, sometimes you gotta break the Robitussin out. Everybody don't like Robitussin. Shit, it tastes gross. But
Trump
guess what?
is a walking analogy of, if you want to make an omelet, you got to break some eggs. He's a walking.
There you fucking go.
Analogy. He is.
There you fucking go.
What
I'm saying this last thing. You asked the average rank and file nigga, what did Barack Obama do in 8 years for your black ass? And they can't name shit. And that tell you everything you need to know.
Healthcare, nigga.
And not only that, if you didn't get his, you get fined. You motherfuckers.
It's communism, bro. It's communism. It's communism. And the healthcare thing is so well, we can't even get it at it. We're at the 48-minute mark. I know we're not going to do a round robin on this, but I do want to end with him saying some crazy shit, so we can get a quick laugh. Somebody can say something, and then I'll get you guys. You guys gotta give me 60. I'm gonna have to give you guys 60 seconds to give me a closing statement, so I can make it under the 2 hours and put this bitch in rotation. But let's just play a little bit of this fucking madness.
Einstein of gay erotica, bro. A nigga want to put his hand all the way up in
cell, and I got every right.
What the heck? Whoa.
Gay free agent lifestyle, a down low brother free agent lifestyle, even a heterosexual free agent lifestyle.
With 0 bitches done to a nigga. Nigga too angry to be happily married, bro. The happily married people that I meet are not like this, bro. They don't think about gay shit. They don't have all of
Accept that term.
Okay, hold on. Let's over.
Spirit of 1,000 bitter bitches. These women, while you were young, have sex with men.
Damn, Hood.
Bet for a gay man that'll live in his truth, than a man that want to run from the smoke, than a man that
he has more respect for gay men than men that have sex with women. This is your modern 2026 black community. He has more respect for gay men than men who have sex with women. Sure, don't just let them out.
women out here look a mess. Y'all give them a commercial break.
God damn it.
Too much imagination for a heterosexual. Something happened. What he was saying, too sweet. It was like a
yeah, I didn't realize who
yeah, what are they coming to church doing? Being gay.
Had a whole homoerotic rant against Coach Greg Adams. This is the one nigga in the manosphere who I'd never hear a lot of shit about. And stuff. You wish. I thought the whole idea, all because you is gonna come up on who? Catching all of this.
One of your immature, illegitimate sexcapades because you are riddled.
Hey, bro. Even the
this is how a
buffer
nigga talk when he wasn't invited to the sexcapade.
Say what?
Even the buffering don't want none, bro.
Bro. I didn't. I mean, I listened to this because of what you call it. I listened to Hood's stream with this, and then I listened to Coach Greg. The Hood shit was just so funny. I didn't realize how much fucking commentary Hood put on that bitch. But here, we're gonna have to do a separate stream on this gas unit because it's a 1 hour stream. But there's no rational reason that this motherfucker crashed out the way that he did. And it's not even just the crash out. It's just that he just did a man bun stream. It's crazy. It was a man bun stream, and it was like it was on some like he was wishing Violet jail type man buns action on niggas.
Look,
it's crazy.
Tony Gaskins was moonlighting as Felice Johnson through that whole entire podcast, man. All he thought about was a man's butt.
I was thinking that. I was like, man, I'm waiting on him to say I'm a warrior. Yeah.
Booty. When you get to prison, booty is more important than food. Booty, getting some booty it's more important than drinking water, man.
All right, guys. Yeah, that's how he was. All right, so we're gonna have to just do a separate stream on the Tony Gaskins joint. I sent it to Tito. I know Tito covered part of it. He did 2 joints. I guess we're just gonna have to do it.
I did one too. Forgot. I did one too.
Yeah, I'm gonna share it on the community tab. But I mean, the shit's disturbing. I mean, honestly, the shit's disturbing.
And he did a part 2. I got to cover that part tomorrow. I'm about to do that tomorrow. He did another what's the name video. You better not took it down, boy. I swear to God, Tanya, if you had took that video down, I'm gonna find it somewhere. I'm still roast you in flame, you Tanya.
All right, guys, we got all right, shit. It's 53. All right, we got 5 minutes left. Let me get closing statements for about. You guys only got 60 seconds. I gotta get this under 2 hours. Go ahead, Saul. You go at the top.
I would say this, like I said before, just be mindful and critical of people who are trying to tear down black male-centric institutions, or people who are trying to co-opt it for gains that are nefarious or whatever the case may be. We do have to have a place where we can congregate and this sort of thing happens. I mean, you all see the potential here, even with this space in the last couple of years. when black men are able to assemble, unfiltered, and unrestricted, we get shit done. And this space proves it. I'll land my plane there.
Well played. Mr. O, all you.
All I gotta say is this guy Roland Martin, the likes of him, fraternal dudes with all these organizations behind them, so-called brotherhood. This might not last long, especially going into the midterm, and most definitely might not last long going into 2028. That's one thing. These libtards, they just about to go ahead trying to destroy my beautiful country. I mean, it got its flaws, but yeah, y'all really want to go and destroy one of the best countries left on this Western Hemisphere for some ideologies that only serve you. And last but not least, since I got 15 seconds left, guys like Tony Gaskins is just wearing wigs. They just come out the proverbial closet and just be real with themselves. And I land my plane there.
All right, Hoop, that's all you. You got 60 seconds, man.
Yeah, man, I'm not too familiar with Tony Gaskins, so I'm gonna have to get on game to kind of get more perspective. But
he's from the Derek Jackson and Ace
I was just about to get to that.
Yeah.
But from my quick read of him, I know a few niggas on my Facebook timeline who espouse the same shit. And I was gonna say the Derek Jackson of the world, the Roland Martins of the world, the Boyce Watkins of the world, so on and so forward. Something I noticed about these niggas, they don't have relationships that you would want to follow as a fucking man. None of them. So I don't know if that's gay. I don't know if they just can't get the type of women that they want, so on and so forward. But if you look at these niggas, dating and relationship shit, there's nothing you wouldn't model to show other young men you should espouse. Well, you should pursue, right? Even from a Derek Jackson who tried to pretend like, his wife, him and Danae was so good when this nigga out here just, literally out here dirty dicking all these bitches, right?
Dirty dicking.
You feel me? So, but even like, to the Boyce Watkins, proposing to this woman who clearly not into you. You know what I'm saying? Who wants to replicate that shit you see of Roland Martin? I've never seen it with a significant other. And then cat, I'm thinking about this dude named Oz on my Facebook thing. This dude always goes hard for women. I've never seen this nigga with a bitch in about 15 years. I've never seen him with a bitch. Not one. So it's like, it's like, what can you really do with a person like that? But just laugh, point, shout out to the Simpsons, man. And, I landed there.
Well played, gentlemen. Yo, salute to the chat for coming out, hanging out with us at this obscenely ridiculous late hour on a Sunday for 9 seasons straight. We appreciate y'all. I appreciate. Thank you guys for showing up in the chat. Hoop, Saul, Mr. O. Like I said, we 9 seasons in, man. I never know who's going to show up. And if all goes well, we might have Wrench here in a month or so. That being said, ladies and gentlemen, this is my time. I say ladies for all the cloud watchers. That is my time. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for supporting the stream. We can't do this shit without you. Until next time, good night and good luck.
Here's another classic. The definition of hip hop. Here's another classic. The definition of chemistry. Here's another classic.
It kind of surprised me, to be honest. I mean, I knew she had a penis and all, but I guess I never really thought about how big Michelle's penis could be. We just kissed and shit like that. But one day we were having a few drinks and we started dancing salsa, and holy shit, thought you had a snake in her trousers.